In this video, I'll present how to combine JSON datasets with Spark SQL in a short Python script using PySpark. So from pyspark.sql, we import Spark session, and from pyspark.sql.functions, we import call, short for column, which we'll use below. Now in the main section of the code, we create a Spark session called Spark using our Spark session.builder with some typical parameters that we pass to it. And then we set the log level to error because we don't want all the info messages coming from the Spark internals when we want to see the output of our program. Then we create a data frame df. So we do spark.read.json to read the contents of this internet users per 100 JSON file and store it in a data frame. Now this file contains a list of countries and the number of users per 100 in those countries. So it's the percent of users that have access to the internet in various countries. Then we print the schema just to see the result. And then I'm going to create a JSON string or JSON_str, which is an array of strings of JSON objects. So you can see how the JSON objects are defined. So we have a string started with a single quote, a brace, so this is our start of our JSON object. And in double quotes, we have a field name, N2015, and a percent or per 100 is 0.5. Then we have country name, which the field name is N underscore. Now these field names N2015 and N underscore are based on the contents of our JSON file. So it follows the naming convention that was in that file. So N2015 is the number per 100 for the year 2015, and underscore is just the name. In this case, I've used a fictitious country name called Tomania, and they have 0.5 per 100 internet adoption. And then our second object, so the comma here, we create another string with another JSON object. This time, this country has 100% internet adoption, and the country's name is Austerlitz. So what we do with this JSON string, this array of JSON objects, we use spark.sparkContext.parallelize that takes this JSON string, or these JSON strings, and creates an RDD. And I call this users RDD. Then I pass this RDD based on these strings to spark.read.json, and then it converts this RDD into something called more users. So this is a data frame based on these two countries that we have data for. So then I call more users.show so we can see the contents to make sure everything was inputted correctly from the JSON strings. Then we're going to combine this with the JSON file. So we have a JSON file, we read the data frame, then we have a couple of strings with a couple of more data points,